people call me launch strategist. Just jumping on for a few minutes to talk about what makes you different as a business owner, as a company, as a brand, all of it. So for starters, let's just define the difference between brand and business, right? Because sometimes people interchange them, which we get, but we want to be clear moving forward. So your business is simply what you sell, right? What it is that you do. But your brand is the reason why people buy. It's the thing that people say about you when you're not in the room, right? When people are talking about your products and services. And so when we start talking about your coaching business, you have to understand that you are building both a brand and a business, right? You are the personal brand, and what you're selling is the business. Now, this is not a training about personal branding, but I do want to start by helping you understand that in order for you to have a magnetic attraction, right? In order for clients to flow to you, in order for clients to stay with you, you need to include the brand element and not just the business, okay? So let's talk about this whole Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A beef, okay? And let me start by saying neither is right or wrong, right? It's simply different, right? Our goal as we're building our coaching business is number one, loyalty, right? How do we actually get clients and get clients to keep paying us, whether it's ongoing payments off of one program, or whether it's selling them into an additional program after they're done. But whatever that looks like, it's loyalty. How the heck do we create loyal customers? The other goal is what I'm going to call ambassadors. You know, those people who will jump in the comments of your post and defend you, the people who will scream and shout, oh my gosh, she helped me so much. You don't have to beg them for a testimonial. We want ambassadors. We want people who freely talk about how we've served them, right? We also, and I'm going to add this because I see it lacking. And sometimes I see a lot of people who start a coaching business with integrity or wanting to be in integrity, but lose it somewhere along the way. So the last thing that I would say is a goal is honor, right? You want to be able to feel good about the things that you're doing, like the results that you're helping people get, how you're impacting people's lives. And so the question becomes, if these are the goals, loyalty, ambassadors, and honor, how the heck do we do that? Well, much of it has to do with what makes you different, right? So think about Popeyes. What is Popeyes known for, right? And here's the thing that's interesting. No matter what city, no matter what state you live in, you're going to get very similar answers. Every once in a while, somebody will say something positive, but more times than not, you're going to get they ghetto, they take all day, they always running out of something, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? You just go to Popeyes expecting that it ain't going to work out. And what is the thing that you hear people say about Chick-fil-A all the time? Oh my God, they're the nicest people on the planet. They ain't got no attitude. I get extra sauces. My order is always right. Now, occasionally you, again, hear something that isn't positive. But Chick-fil-A people are the people that will defend Chick-fil-A to the end, right? So, example, I saw a meme once that talked about Chick-fil-A being a Trump supporter. Me not being a Trump supporter, I was like, ooh, I scrolled right on past that meme because I'm like, listen, I don't know whether that's a true meme or not, but I ain't finna investigate because I don't want to give up my Chick-fil-A, right? That's what loyal customers look like, okay? People who are like, listen, I'm not giving up this. I don't care what happens. So let's talk about, okay, well, what do we do? Let's talk about what we don't do first, okay? The first thing that I want you to understand that you cannot do is skip this step. If you cannot clearly articulate what it is that you do that is different than the people who are similar to your industry, you will struggle to get clients. A lot of times I see people skipping this step, sometimes because they just don't know how to figure it out, right? But whatever the reason is, if you skip this step, it will show up in your results. And when I say results, your ability to get clients and retain clients, okay? The other thing that I want you to not do is focus on what you cannot do, okay? So I was having a conversation with someone and they have a bookstore, right? And they were talking about Amazon and how they're freaky fast and, you know, all these reasons why their business may or may not work. and just kind of feeling discouraged, right? And the thing that we had to talk about is you got to look at what you do have. What do you have that Amazon does not? And I know you're probably thinking, well, nothing. No, 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 no. That's not true, right? If you change your mindset to a how can I? Mostly it's the word can. Okay. Take can't out of your vocabulary as an entrepreneur. Okay. So what we started talking about was, well, one of the things that is important to you is diversity and seeing Black children and Black people being able to be represented in books and reading and all these things that have everything to do with diversity and culture. So how can you include that and be different? And so one of the things that we came up with was that she can handpick specific books that have Black children and send them to parents who want that. Why? Because there's a whole demographic of people who actually want that but don't know where to start or don't know where to find the books. Guess what? Amazon is not doing that. You see what I'm saying? But if you focus on what you cannot do, you will limit yourself. When people say you have a mindset issue, that's what they mean. It means you focused on the wrong shit. Okay. So if we know what not to do, then the question becomes, what do we do in order to be clear about what the difference is that we bring to the marketplace? So the first one is understanding your core values. Part of what makes Chick-fil-A different, whether you agree with them or not, is the fact that they're closed on Sundays. Okay? Period. That's what matters to them. Part of how you distinguish yourself in the marketplace is what matters to you personally. Okay? Part of what distinguishes Nike from all of the other athletic apparel is their core values. They are always including someone in their marketing that other people just would have given up on. Michael Vick and the whole dog situation, Colin Kaepernick, right? There are all kinds of people who just wrote those people off, but part of Nike's core values is to include those kinds of athletes in what they do. Okay. Same thing with Kobe. When he passed, they took his shoes off the market. Some people are trying to capitalize off his death, right? They're selling more shoes, more apparel, more jerseys. But Nike said, no, that's not what we're about. Guess what? That makes them stand out. Okay. So part of how you do this is getting clear about your core values. Okay. The other part is understanding your ideal client. Sometimes I see people focusing all of their attention on what they want, right? And what I want as a business owner. That won't get you very far. Somebody told us a lie when they said, oh, start a business and you can follow your passion and do all the things that you love and blah. That's true to a certain extent, right? I get to do a lot of things that I love to do, but there are also a lot of things in my business that I don't necessarily care for, right? So your business is not all about you. You need to get clear about who is your ideal client and what matters to them. So I use this example when I'm teaching around messaging. And so we talk about, let's say there's a little boy who pitches themselves to cut their grass, right? And he uses all different kind of things, different prices, different schedules, different things that he thinks is going to help you say yes. And what I help people understand is if a little boy came to my door and knocked on the door and asked me to cut the grass, I'm going to say no 98% of the time. I don't care what the pitch is. Why? Because if I'm your ideal client, I don't want no kids cutting my grass. I got boys. They listen, they grass cutting skills is non-existent. So therefore, I would rather pay a professional more money than to pay a child. So so what we do sometimes is we focus on pitching the wrong thing, the wrong offer, the wrong attribute of that offer. Why? Because we don't understand what matters to our ideal client. You could pitch me on cutting my grass all day, but I'm not your ideal client because I don't want no kids cutting my grass. Lord Jesus, have mercy. Okay. So understand who your ideal client is, and then you can adapt and include your values, right? Your difference as it relates to who it is that you serve. Everything comes back to who you serve. Okay. The last one is gaps. Understanding the gaps in your marketplace will change everything. Okay. So I'll use myself as an example. One of the things that we specialize in is done for you offers, right? Specifically around brand clarity. All these things that you hear us talking about, well, who is it that you serve? And what is your signature program? And what's going to be your marketing strategy? And what's your business model? All those things fall under brand clarity. Okay. Sometimes people call it brand strategy. Same thing. We specialize in doing that done for you. Now, a lot of people will say, well, you can't build somebody's brand for them. Yes, you can. If you understand what to ask, if you understand who's a good client for this particular offer, who's not, right? I can absolutely do that. And we do it all the time. So here it is. One of the gaps in the marketplace is doing something that people hate. People don't like writing mission statements and brand promises and writing curriculum for their programs and all the back end stuff that has to happen in order for your launches to be successful. People don't like that stuff. Right? So guess what? We filled a hole in the marketplace by helping people with brand clarity through a done for you offer. Because what will take you 3 years to figure out could take us 30 days. Okay. So the question becomes, what gaps are you filling in the marketplace? Okay. What do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known for the Popeyes? Because here's the thing, Popeyes still making money. That's the truth. Popeyes is still making money the same way Chick-fil-A is making money. The difference, though, is number one, what do you want to be known for? Are you here to serve in excellence or not? Right? And the profit margins are definitely different. The customer service, there are all kinds of things that are different. But I want you to understand that if you are not intentional, right? If you skip the step, you will automatically, by default, go into the Popeyes category of having mediocre service, mediocre whatever. But if you are intentional, you will build a brand around what matters, right? You will build a brand around things that actually get people to buy. If you skip the step, guess what? People won't buy shit. It will take you longer. Why? Because nobody knows you. Popeye's been around forever. But you as a new coach, just starting, just launching, only been doing it 2-3 years, the easiest way to get clients is for you to be different. So do you know what makes you different? If you don't, of course, you are welcome to reach out to us. This is something, of course, that we do on a regular basis. We have a market boot camp where we go through all of the steps of identifying who your ideal client is, understanding your competitive advantage and what makes you different, all of the things that are the foundational steps to building your coaching business. You're welcome to drop a comment, ask questions. We're happy to answer anything that comes up. Peace.